Welcome to Talk Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and radio. It is official as of last week. We now have our own radio channels. And for those of you who have been reaching out, am I going to change the website and change all of our branding? The answer is no, not now. There's other priorities. So just so you know, everything that we had before is still the same. You can go over to our website, usaglobaltv.com, and also our YouTube channel, USA Global TV. And thanks to our friends who are joining us for the first time from different parts of the world on the radio channels, we welcome you. Our show is presenting Pet Psychic AMINAH, and I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. We have between 20 and 25 live streaming shows every week, and we're glad to have you with us. And everyone have a wonderful holiday weekend as well. So let's present Pet Psychic AMINAH, and let's find out what she's been up to since last week. Hello there.
Absolutely no good. No, last night was the worst walk on the planet because somebody with an extremely large dog, and it had to have been 10 of them, but it's probably one, just feces everywhere.
Oh, I hate that.
I mean, I keep trying to really encourage everybody to say, do you know that does not biodegradable? Because
why don't people get that?
Processed food. They're not eating cattle, I hope. Right. They're not going biting the cows out in the field. They're not eating vegetables and things like that. And I know you guys are feeding them Cheetos. I just know it. And that I don't even know what Cheetos has in it, and I love them. But what they don't understand is it was so bad last night. I don't think I've seen it this bad in a long time. And it's just, come on, guys, you're gonna have a dog. You gotta have all of the job, not just some of the job.
Yeah, so that's a big part of it.
It really is.
Yeah, when I see them, when I go for my walks, and you'll see a lot of people out walking their dogs, and I look at, do they have the bags with them? Because if not, it's just offensive, really.
It is, and it's a toxic waste dump. I mean, we live in a really, really nice, secluded neighborhood. Great for a pandemic, but and I'm on a giant hill, and so all the people here, people do come up to walk their dogs, but they're the locals, because you see a couple and here and there, and you go, that's really bad. But you have to literally watch for landmines everywhere. And sadly, somebody a couple of weeks ago, I think, stepped in it and then rubbed their shoes on the sidewalk because there was just, sliding mud, not mud. We're going to call it mud. Dog
yes.
Mud. It's much nicer. And I just thought, man, if that was my shoe, I would be out for at least a good tongue lashing.
Oh my, well, I agree with you. AMINAH, we have people joining us for the first time from these various radio channels, and I shared that as of 2 days ago, after we just launched, we had 8 different countries listening. So I'm going to have to talk to our engineer and find out how many more. But I'd love for you to introduce yourself to our new audience members and tell them about what you do and how you can help them. And then we'll introduce our guest for today.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody, for joining this amazing channel. And I've been blessed to be on it for some time now. My name is pronounced AMINAH, like almonds and no L in there. It's really simple. And I was born with a gift to be able to hear plants and animals, and ironically, animals who have passed. So I don't have ghosts following me around. I made sure I learned how to manage that. But I I don't know why I know things. How's that? And so I have spent the last 5 to 10 years really concentrating on that, because my passion for animals goes soul deep. And what that looks like is I have studied, I have a college education in it, I have worked in wildlife sanctuary, I have been a vet assistant, certified vet assistant. I wanted to make sure that I had skills and talents in places where you really need training. Just like I learned to read and write, it's really important to be able to have a balanced outlook. And I really wanted that. So I'm able to, if as you watch our channel and mine specific, you're going to hear a lot of coexisting, lots and lots about coexisting, because I really want us to understand that the ants do matter. The wasps, I haven't figured them out completely, but they do matter. Honeybees, if you want to eat anything, and that type of stuff. Our world is in huge trouble. So because we overindulge in too many trees and too many plants, or plants from the wrong place. Right now, I'm bringing everybody along on my milkweed travels, and that means I finally got some milkweed here of where I'm at. I don't have a yard anymore, so they're in pots, and I'm going to bring everybody on that. Why is milkweed so important? Monarch butterflies. It's a really big deal, and they're really in trouble because we use so many pesticides. These are the things I'm going to talk about. But more importantly, I want to talk about what is happening with you. So I get emails and I get phone calls, and here on the show, we get the same. And we try to answer your questions about your pets. And then I try to bring you guests that really get us to think in even different ways and more ways, like my guest today. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, AMINAH. That was a great overview. And you've brought a wonderful guest. She's been here before, and she's doing work that's so significant and important. And it's an area that many people don't actually even think about. So I'd love for you to introduce Genevieve.
Genevieve, again, just everything Dr. JACALYN said. I work from my heart, of course, especially with the field I'm in. And I want to circle and support those, as Dr. JACALYN's platform does, the people working in the same type of work. Feeding the homeless pets, you might think, well, wait a minute, what about feeding the homeless? Well, we're going to touch on all of those types of things, but a lot of times the homeless are hanging on, and their mental acuity and everything. A pet can really help when you're lonely and don't have anybody. I know as a child, being the youngest of 7 people in my family, I found solace in talking to the cat. And it was just telling her stories or whatever. She just thought it was silly because I just yammered on. Can you imagine having no home, living in the rain, living outside, and all the struggles that go with that? But having a buddy with you that doesn't judge, doesn't care when you showered last, will starve with you, or hopefully go get a rat for you if that's what that cat does. Dogs not as much, but that camaraderie helps our mental health in a very significant way. So Genevieve is going to explain to us how we can help, how we can donate food, how we can understand why this is so important in the balance of the planet and the world, much less the human being.
Thank you so much. Genevieve Frederick, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. It's always a pleasure to come back onto the show and talk about my nonprofit that we are across the country, and we're helping people that are experiencing homelessness. There are 3.5 million a year that are homeless. Some are homeless for a short amount of time, but some are homeless for years and years. And I think the important thing for people to understand, people they don't want to be homeless. What happens is that they get caught up in so many different situations that they become homeless. Sometimes it's just income. They don't have enough to get an apartment. or to pay their property tax. So they get evicted, they get foreclosed on. Sometimes it's mental illness. Sometimes it's a disability that prevents them from even working. Sometimes it's family issues, domestic violence. All of a sudden you're homeless. There are so many different reasons why people become homeless. There are economic reasons, there's personal reasons, and there's life choices reasons. So it's not because they are addicted to alcohol or drugs. So many people put that in their head that all homeless people are like that. And that is not true. So many of the homeless people that we work with, they've gone into homelessness and brought their pets with them. Sometimes they'll be homeless. Another homeless person will give them their pet because now they have a job or they're moving on. They don't want to take it to the animal shelter where it may be a kill shelter. So they would rather give it to somebody else that they know that is in their circle of friends. And the homeless community, they share a lot of services, and they share a lot of where to go get a shower. Where is there a bathroom? I mean, that's something that we take for granted. Where is a homeless shelter or a soup kitchen? So all of these things make up what happens to homeless people. It could be just a matter of not having insurance, being in a situation where there's a wildfire or a tornado, or any of those things can cause somebody to go into homelessness. So I just want your audience to be more compassionate and show some empathy about what these people are going through. Walk in their shoes for one day and see what they go through, the barriers that they face every single day. And having a pet, it even makes it harder. But having that pet, like you had said, it is such a comfort. They offer them that comfort, that protection, especially for homeless women. They offer them that unconditional love. These pets, their people is their home. They don't need a roof over their head. So one of our programs, obviously, is feeding pets of the homeless. And I just want your viewers and your listeners to understand that 1 in 8 Americans are considered food insecure, which is shocking because we're in one of the most wonderful countries in the world, but yet 56.5 million people sought food from Feeding America's network of food banks. Now, food banks have seen a huge increase, and they need donations. They need donations of people food, and they need donations of pet food. I don't think your audience may know this, but 42 million people in America get SNAP benefits, and that's also known as food stamps. So that was in 2021. 42 million people. But what people don't understand is that SNAP benefits do not allow you to use those credit cards to purchase pet food. We all know how expensive pet food is. So I'm asking your viewers to either buy extra pet food and take it to one of our donation sites, or take it to a local food bank, or send us money and we will make sure it gets to the food banks that are reaching out to us and saying, we don't have enough pet food for our clientele, and we have a lot of low income and homeless people that are coming to us every day for human food and for pet food. So I just wanted to put that out there, that this is an important topic, not only for human food, but for pet food as well. People forget about that. Any of your listeners that are low income or homeless, if the local food bank or your soup kitchen doesn't have pet food, you can always call or go to the local animal shelter. They would rather give you pet food than have you turn your pet into them, relinquish that pet, because you can't afford that pet food. They don't want to separate you from your pet. So if they have extra, they will give it to you. So, and I know this is happening across the country. Our donation sites have collected over 832 tons of pet food and taken it to over 450 organizations that distribute that pet food. Now, we list a lot of those on our website. So if somebody needs pet food, they can go to our website and look for places. We call them pet food providers, because they could be a church pantry, it could be the local food pantry, it could be a soup kitchen, it could be all kinds of different organizations that are distributing pet food. So we try to list as many as that we know of that are distributing. We are short on donation sites because of COVID. A lot of businesses opened up and closed down during the pandemic, and they never reopened. So we're asking companies to join us in our family of donation sites. One of the reasons is that it acclaims your business as being socially responsible. It publicizes your business to new and to your current customers, because we do a lot of marketing on your behalf to tell your community that this is a place where you can drop off donations of pet food and supplies, and it will get to where it needs to go. So I just, I'm so thankful to be able to let your audience know of the need and how we can help. A lot of our pet food providers are calling us. They've run out of pet food. So we're using funds, our own funds, to drop ship pet food across the country. And just to give you an idea, last year we ended up spending over $5,000 on pet food alone. And that doesn't count the $500,000 that we spent on emergency veterinary care to pets that belong to homeless. So I want to open it up to you ladies to ask me questions.
Thank you so much, Genevieve, for sharing that information, especially for people who are joining us for the first time. A question that comes to mind is there any way to work directly with the pet food manufacturers to find out if they can do some type of program to assist?
Yeah, we reach out to them. A lot of times their distributing centers will have damaged or almost expired pet food, and they will call local food banks to have them come and pick it up. Usually the manufacturers, they will donate to a organizations that is very close to where their facility is. So it's not like they're, putting out 500 pounds to this person, this organization. So we encourage them, of course, to let it go out to rescues, to food banks, so that it can be distributed to people that really need it.
Excellent. Thank you for that.
Is there any way or anything you've thought of that somebody who maybe has, like when I had a truck and that kind of stuff, I would have loved to have been able to come and pick up the wildlife sanctuary I worked at. We got food like you're talking. They would have trailers full of stuff, and certain of the exotics can eat it. So we would literally get truckloads of it, but somebody's got to go get it. So having those vehicles that can take 10, 5, 3 bags, who cares? as you know, is that a possibility? Do you take people's numbers that will just go and get it and pick it up and bring it back, or?
What we'll do is once we know that there is 10 pallets of pet food at ABC location, we'll reach out to our pet food providers in that area and tell them this is the number to call. Go and see what, go and call that number, and then make arrangements to go and pick up some pet food for your organization.
Okay. So getting it from that store itself as opposed to the food being shipped to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
It sounds like it's more expedient.
Oh, yeah. It
Yeah.
cuts out that a lot of
The
a
middleman.
lot of everything.
The middle woman, the middle person. I don't know
Yeah.
what you call that today.
During the holidays, Chewy.com
Mhm.
had a holiday campaign, and they asked people to buy extra pet food
Right.
when they placed their order. And we were one of those organizations. Unfortunately, it all got shipped to our office. We were in a bind. We had service clubs come in and help us divide it up so that we could get it back out into the community where it needed to go. So our community was very well stocked for quite a while. But since then, on Chewy, we're asking people that would like to help us out, send us one of Chewy's gift cards, and then we can have that shipped to one of our pet food providers. And then it just makes it just seamless, and it's wonderful. That has worked out very well.
I love the gift card idea. I love the gift card idea. I don't know, do you have like something on your website where you can link to the virtual gift card and somebody give, I mean, your donations are irrelevant. They're all going to food and that kind of stuff. But what a fun campaign that would be.
Yeah.
Just my creative side is jumping in and going, what a fun
Yeah.
campaign that would be about, you get the frog card
Yeah.
and we're not feeding frogs, but it looks really cute. And
Yeah.
I would want the tarantula one because, I absolutely adore these animals. I have pictures of me holding them and them running around on me, and everybody squeals and and then you do it for the effect. So, anyways, you could really have some, we know animals are great. Dr. JACALYN has animals, and I think most of them have passed, but we all know they're characters. Now, Dr. JACALYN, you had corgis, right?
I think you're on mute.
Yeah. I had 2 Coton
Okay.
de Tuileries and a
Oh.
Maltese, and they all passed away. Genevieve, I did pull up your website. Would you like me to share it?
Oh, sure.
Okay, let me just take this comment down. And here we go. Share. Share screen.
This is going to be a ticker tape parade again.
Here we go. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, we can. That's wonderful.
All right, so I'll just go down this site. Where would you like me to focus on?
Well, that's a good question. About us, our programs, whatever you think you would like to see. There's the history of how I started it.
Mhm.
Do you want to
And
talk? I think this is interesting. Do you want to just talk about this?
Oh, sure. It was in 2006 when we were in New York, and I saw this gentleman with a home, he was homeless, and he had this dog unleashed, beautiful dog, almost like the picture on our homepage. And I left New York, came back to Carson City, Nevada, and just kept rolling around in my head. I've seen homeless people lots of times, like everybody, but I've always had blinders on. I ignored them. They were invisible to me. But this dog, and that is what a lot of times happen when people see a homeless person with a pet. they gravitate to them if they are pet lovers. And that opens up that conversation, which is so important. It makes that person feel like I'm a human. People, I may be in a bad place, but I'm able to talk to people that way. But during my time of mulling this over, I thought there was something that was not connecting for me, because I was thinking, this man is homeless. He can't take care of himself, obviously. How is he feeding this pet? And then I got this aha moment and I went, hey, I could do that. I could feed pets of people that are experiencing homelessness. And to do that, I wanted it to make it a comfortable place where you might already be doing business, and that's at your beauty parlor, your own veterinary hospital, all of those places that you already are going to. If they would become a donation site and then take those donations to a food bank that would distribute it, because that's where the homeless are going to congregate. They're going to go to that soup kitchen every day. They're going to go to that food bank at least once a week and get food. So it was, but I realized it would be for low income as well as the homeless. And I was fine with that, because I knew that it would get these animals fed. Until recently, I didn't even know that SNAP people that were, getting those benefits, that pet food was not something that they could purchase. So anyway, I went to my own veterinarian and I said, hey, how about if we put a garbage can in your reception area, put a sign on it saying taking donations for pets of the homeless, and let's see what happens. And I happened to write a press release. Once the hospital said, yeah, we'll do that. That sounds like kind of an interesting idea, and we'll take it over to our local food bank. Said, great. So I had already okayed that with the food bank because I knew the executive director. So anyway, I did a press release. It was on the front page of our local paper that afternoon. That garbage can was overfull with pet food. People were like, oh my God, this is awesome. I had never thought about homeless and how they're feeding their pets. So this is when I knew this idea that I had was going to work. And it was from that very moment that I knew that this was going to be a national organization, that I could do this across the country. I could do this and it would be the first in the country. And it actually was. There was probably, food banks probably were getting donations of pet food, but it wasn't something that they advertised because they weren't getting enough. Well, now they were starting to get enough. If we had 2 or 3 donation sites in one community, taking all that pet food over to that food bank. So a lot of times food banks are going to grocery stores and picking up, almost expired milk and bread and all of, they're getting stuff from, so they're out and about with these vans picking up stuff anyway. So now they can just go by and pick up the pet food as well. So this is how it started, and it's been quite a journey.
Yeah. And
Wow.
and I want to bring up a really sore topic. I hear a lot of blowback on I don't want to be this crude, but it's, why should we care? Why should they get pets? Why don't they take care of themselves? What, the same judgmentalness of not understanding how homelessness happens. And it's everything from losing their job to a medical condition, a cognitive condition, to, have you lived in California? It's pretty expensive to live here, and that type of stuff. So there's a myriad. I don't think there's even a bottom to this well of what could have happened, what might happen. And God forbid we all find, we're there and the crash of 19 whatever happens, and we all started that with this trajectory. So now we are growing. What I encourage everybody to hear, Genevieve, when you talk, is to hear that passion in your voice, to hear that commitment in your heart of this is really simple to join, simple to do. We're trying to make it literally, I'm not going to call it stupid proof, but, just simple, something to do, because really we have very complicated lives all the time. Who took out the trash? I don't know. Did you take out the trash? I mean, it could be as simple as we just don't want to take out the trash because we have so much on our plates. You making this simple for them to just do the gift card, I think is wonderful. But I also hope it changes people's hearts about your pets matter. They're your children and they're so valuable. That is mental health for me. And I'm not homeless, thank goodness, but for so many people who are homeless and are suffering from medical conditions. So to be able to pick up a kitty or a dog or whatever and hug them and get that unjudgmental, complete acceptance. I've always say this, and I said this a couple last year, I think on our show, and it was like one of my clients, he actually was boarding my horse, and I was checking in with his dog because he's just a scruffy as all get out. He didn't have anything really to brush, but he could have been. And he's like, does my dog love me? And I'm thinking, oh, what do I tell him? Because he said, well, he smells bad, but he's mine. Because he didn't shower much and he drank alcohol and he wasn't even homeless, but he could have definitely passed as one. So we're all there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just going to interject a couple of things. First of all, I can't tell you how many people I've interviewed on this platform, people who have accomplished significant things in their lives and they were homeless at some point, and you would never know it. And when they share it, people are like, what, you? I can't believe it. And so you can't judge anyone because it could happen to anyone at any moment. Yes. And we hope it doesn't, of course. Genevieve, I have the website pulled up and I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. You've got a newsletter that people can subscribe to, and then you give a lot of great information about pet food donation sites, wellness clinics, emergency care program, veteran pet support. I mean, this is just chock full, crates of great information. Anything you'd like to share about what we're looking at on the website or anywhere else you'd like me to go?
No, showing all the programs, it started with that one program, Feeding Pets. Then it went to, we just added programs, and the next one was emergency veterinary care. Wow. Just so that your viewers and listeners understand what happens when somebody has an emergency. Their dog's been hit by a car, the dog's been stabbed or been in a dog fight or has diarrhea or bad teeth, whatever that situation is. Homeless, call us. Just to give you an idea, right now we have 175 pending cases. Now, that means we are trying to vet that person that they truly are homeless, because if they're not, then we can't help them. We will give them other resources of other organizations that may be able to help them with low cost or maybe even with free veterinary care if they're not homeless. But if they are homeless, then we will use one of our 1,400 plus network hospitals across the country and get them a pre-authorized code to do an exam on that pet. And then what happens is the homeless person makes that, after they've been vetted, they make the appointment at the hospital that we have selected, because the hospitals that we work with give us a discount. So we do pay them at time of service, but they do need to give us a discount because we are a nonprofit. So then after the appointment, during the appointment, I should say, the hospital will call us and say, we've got a dog here that needs x-rays. We have a dog here that I need to do blood work because we're not sure what's going on. We will okay that, but they need to go through us first. And then, so that's kind of how it works. Last year, we spent over $500,000 at all of those hospitals. We treated over 900 pets. So we've got 3 full-time case managers. That's all they do is talk to homeless people and hospitals. The average case takes probably a minimum of 6 phone calls. So last year, they made and took over 11,000 phone calls.
Wow.
And this year, it looks like it's going to even be more. So we have, like all nonprofits, we have overhead, we have all kinds of expenses. We have our program expenses, and then we have our other expenses. So, we're always looking for financial help, whether it's, make a donation on our website or write us a check. We're just so grateful and appreciative of people's generosity.
That's amazing. That's
That's
amazing.
fantastic. Thank you so much.
And it just warms your heart to know that people are still giving. And, because you and I both know we go through the ebb and flow. You get near tax season, you get near Christmas, you pick something and that goes, tax season, it's a boon. Christmas, not so much. But, what you're doing, again, what I believe for me, Dr. JACALYN, also is you've built this amazing platform, and I honor you every day for thanking you for bringing me on and me getting to meet these amazing people that I have literally farmed for and said, I want heart-centric. I want somebody's heart-centric because it fits your platform. It fits what you're doing, Dr. JACALYN, also with the people you have. And I do want to encourage everybody to watch as many shows as you can, because I know I do when I'm cooking or cleaning or whatever, and they have great musicians and more great information. And Genevieve, what you're doing is heart-centric. It does call to our hearts. If we can care for other beings, other humans and animals. I talk about the animals. You're talking about the animals and their caregivers. It is a given package. It is saying, okay, I'm gonna take care of the kid, but not the parents. Well, how do you think the kid is living without the parents? It's not a good thing. Then the institutions come involved. So it's a package. And I would love to know, if we have time for, I think one more question at least, is that how do you talk to people? And because I've only gotten it once, and you probably get it much more, is they're saying, well, we should just be feeding the homeless. Why are we wasting money on the dog or the cat or everything? We, the 3 of us in this room specifically, know the value, the health value. Instead of taking Valium, I'm going to go pet the dog. Instead of taking Excedrin, I'm going to go curl up with the cat on the couch and my headache's going to go away. These things work. They are real. And you don't have to love pets. You can love whatever you want. You go get a teddy bear that's, fake, or get plants, or go for a hike and get the endorphins, whatever your joy is. There's nothing wrong with it. So I wonder, how do you handle that blowback of people saying, no, the money can be better spent than feeding their pets, when we know what this does for those homeless people? So how do you handle that?
We do know what what the benefits of having a pet is, physically and mentally.
Right.
I think that the people that ask that question and don't get it, it's because they've never had a pet that gave them that love, that comfort, that protection. They just don't know those feelings. They are not emotionally equipped to say, hey, yeah, this pet, I like petting this pet. This pet gives
Yeah.
me comfort. They just don't get it. And, it's surprising. We used to get a little bit of that, but we hardly get any of those kinds of comments anymore. And I think it's because we know that 70% of the American households have at least one pet.
Right.
And we know that at least 25% of homeless have a pet. So, however they got that pet, that is, it doesn't matter. They have that companionship now that is so important. And I can't tell you how many times we've heard the homeless say to us that if it wasn't for my pet, I would have given up and committed
Right.
suicide a long time ago. But I'm
Because somebody
staying
needed
here.
them. Somebody needs them. And we all love to be needed,
Yeah.
especially if it can be healthy. Pets don't have an agenda. I spend a lot of time talking to people. Oh, my dog did this out of revenge, pooped right on my stuff. Well, it might look like that, but what'd you do first? I don't usually get to be that blunt, but I have to be a little more subtle. But you and I know, and Dr. JACALYN, you had your hands full with those three, but you didn't have all three at once, did you? Your puppies?
I did.
Ugh.
I was the crazy lady walking 3 dogs at the same time.
At least you got small ones, but goodness sake, could you get in a worse coat? I don't know. That's a lot of grooming, a lot of fur. You can make
Well,
your
2
own
of them
pillows.
didn't shed. The
I-
Catans don't shed, but the
Oh,
Maltese
well,
shed a lot.
good. So you
Yes.
got off there. But just knowing how much a pet needs and how much they cognitively need and how smart they are.
Oh,
I mean, people don't realize they got your number and then some. And depending on the animal, people don't realize do you two know what one of the most intelligent animals is?
I
German
would say
Shepherd?
a
A what?
dog.
Nope. Of course you would. And JACALYN, what'd you say?
I said German Shepherd.
Okay, we got dog people. It's a pig.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
They are, you saw the books, Charlotte's Web. Yep, there you go. Oh, I can't believe I remember that. I'm thinking Spider in Corner. But it's really true. Their cognitive ability is just one good in my psych classes, one good indicator is, can they see themselves in a mirror? How many of you have seen a cat look at themselves in the mirror? It's hilarious. They're all attacking. Dogs will look at them going, I don't know what that is, or go, they'll lick it or something like that. A pig understands, and a dolphin understands that is me. They have that identity. And so pigs make amazing therapy animals, and they would be amazing for the homeless. I don't recommend it, but you can get small ones, and people think small ones are like a couple of pounds. No, it's just under 50.
Aren't they get bigger though?
Yeah, they get bigger.
Yeah, they get bigger and
People
bigger.
go, but I got a teacup pig. Oh, that's just when they're born. Because you better get a mug.
Yes, for sure.
From one of those restaurants, those big mugs, because teacup pigs get bigger. And they said, why do they call them that? I don't know. I didn't do it.
It's a cruel joke.
It is.
The mayor of our town actually had a pig.
Yes.
And that pig was the bane of the mayor's wife.
Oh,
because
no.
she's the one that had to deal with the pig.
Yep.
And because it was so large, I mean,
Yep.
they got it as a baby, and it
Yep.
grew and grew and grew. Now the kids are gone, and poor Susan's left with this pig. And she'd have to have the vet come to the house to trim its hoofs,
Right.
and do all the stuff that needed to be done. Anyway, yeah, it was.
And they're not even soft and cuddly. Come on,
No.
jacket. But this is the joy of animals, just what we're talking about. It is. We've all had pets, and we've all had that because we have that heart. Pets aren't for everybody. I don't think anything's for everybody. Even chocolate, I don't think it's for everybody. But this is a way that we can help people who are truly struggling emotionally, mentally, house-wise. I can't imagine, because I don't know about you guys, but in my 20s, when we were married in college and all that, man, we were nearly homeless a couple of times, just because it's so expensive to go to school, and everything we save for that. Pets do the same. They need that care, but they bring so much balance into life. So Genevieve, thank you so much for what you're doing. And And I really hope everybody will come back. We'll come back with more stories, and you'll join us next month. And, we'll have you on again. It would be really lovely to get some one-on-one stories from you.
Oh, we have lots of stories. If people want to read every month in our newsletter, we put at least 2 stories about cases that we have
Wonderful.
helped those people and those pets.
Should they go to your website to get
Sign
that?
up. Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful. And if you are on the radio and not looking at the ticker, it is www.pets, so pets of the homeless.org.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Genevieve, thank you so much for everything you're doing. It's always a pleasure to see you, and we'll look forward to having you back again.
Thank you. I'll look forward to seeing you ladies again.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Take
Have
care.
a great weekend.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. It's good to have her back and let our new audience members know, and our audience members that we've had, to remind them that anyone could be homeless at any moment. It's not something that people actually plan for, I don't think.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm 1972. I'm going to be homeless for 6 months. I'm going to try that. And if you don't live in a state like you or I can't imagine being outside all the time. I mean, you have enough bugs to just eat you alive. From the alligator on the golf course to the mosquitoes and everybody else. For California, it's a little tougher. You don't run into too many rattlers and that type of stuff, or I don't know, wild dogs. I think you have to worry about that from the human side and the ones they get let loose. But it just always reminds me, Dr. JACALYN, that we don't know what we don't know. If you and I are very, very fortunate to have a roof over our head, have a job we love, and are able to give back every single day. You're doing it with this platform. I'm doing it with the readings and the help I can be to pets, and doing all the free speaking I could possibly get in to help the people out. A lot of people don't have that choice, and they're slugging it away at fast food and then going to another job and then being a janitor at night and this and this and this. We just had a catastrophic fire in town where it took out the entire Home Depot. They still haven't decided if it's arson or not, but the whole thing and everything in the shopping just burned to the ground. Wow. And it was really, really scary because my caregiver lives behind it. So everybody was evacuated. And the neat thing is, all of those people that were back in the apartments and condos and everything, there's a huge senior population. And they didn't hear the sirens. They didn't hear the firemen coming around saying, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, because the embers and all that type of stuff going. And worried about taking their pets, or if they could or not, and just getting in their car. So many seniors didn't. And these families went door to door after and made sure if they saw that their car was still in the driveway or something like that, that they helped them. One of the neighbors actually found out one of the wives had fallen trying to get out of the house. She fell in the second story. I mean, the stories go on and on how people helped, how people, and I happen to know somebody who was in the fire. So it just, people all just, the guy, a bunch of the big guys went over, picked her up off the floor, got her down to the second stair, got her in the car, and her husband, they went to a hotel or something. But they couldn't figure out why they hadn't evacuated. An hour and a half after the flames were just in huge torrents. Can you imagine the flammability of the Home Depot?
No, oh my gosh, no, I cannot.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the next night, the trash can was on fire. So they really are leaning arson on this. But I want to center on the good of everybody showed up for each other. And this is what your pets do every single day. And I want to honor all of the firemen and all the nurses and everybody's helped us through pandemic. And I hope you get to hug a pet. I hope you get to hug lots and lots and lots of them, because they really, really know how to love unconditionally. And that's what I hope we learn from them.
Thank you, AMINAH. And can you provide your contact information, especially for our new listeners on the radio, as well as our viewers on the television?
If you want to know more than just listening to the show, which I have tons of stuff, luckily with Dr. JACALYN, you can hear all my answering questions. Go to my website. Everything about me is there. My Facebook connections and everything, because I love being silly. I love talking about new things with animals all the time. Right now, we're talking monarch butterflies. And my website is bridging, BRIDGING, worlds, WORLDS.US. So bridging worlds. And that is what I attempt to do every day, is bridge the worlds between pet and owner and pet, and the world and pets, as you can see what we bring on the platform. If you have a wonderful story, get a hold of me. I'd love to interview you and see if you'd like to come on the show. bridgingworlds.us.
Thank you, AMINAH. That was beautiful.
I got
All
enough
right. I
sleep.
wish you a beautiful weekend, and I
You
look forward to.
too.
Thank you. I'll be working, of course, but
Of course.
I I look
We're
forward
going to
to.
give you a sign that says vacation, and then
I
a
know.
definition.
Yeah, what
And then
is a
somebody to come to
vacation?
your house and make you do it.
Well, actually, today I was asked to be a judge in this contest that really supports and empowers women. And
Mhm.
the founder is over in the UK. And so the actual event is going to be in November. So I've put it out to the universe. Somehow I want to be in London in November. So
Oh man, I
that's
want to get in your suitcase then. I miss it. I got to spend only a few months in England, and I loved it. We had so much fun.
I was only there once in 2018, but my goal is to be broadcasting the event live from there. So I'm
Wow.
envisioning a camera crew, and so that's what I'm putting out to the universe. But until then, I'll be behind the green screen or at my desk, get everything
Very good.
ready for the next week. So,
Very
one
good.
thing I want to announce while you're here, it's very exciting for anyone who is a team member here at USA Global TV or a guest. We have a partnership with a celebrity publicist. And the
Mm.
name of the company is Lamore PR, Lamore Media. And Tracy Lamore is our publicist. So we are going to be putting together packages for all of our family and friends that Tracy's going to work special deals so that everyone and anyone who wants to have a publicist, doesn't matter if you're nonprofit, small business, what she can do to get the messaging out there. You know, people ask, well, why would I need a publicist? You'd be surprised what a publicist can do for you. So she'll be coming on. We've already interviewed her a couple of times, but we have a team meeting coming up next week, and we'll be sharing all that information for all of our guests. We'll be putting it out there as well.
How exciting. How exciting. Thank you so much. One less thing I have
Yes,
to do later.
exactly.
You know how long later is, later.
Yeah, I do. I do. Well, I look forward to seeing you hopefully at the team meeting on Tuesday. And
Yep, that's
to
the
everyone
plan. It's on
else,
the
we'll
calendar.
see. Yeah,
Take
perfect. We'll see
care.
Amina
Thank
next
you
Friday.
so much for waiting till
Thank
I get my
you.
clicks out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Good seeing you. Bye bye. And as we close out this week, it's been really tremendous. We have people coming from all over the world who found us. It's not that we're reaching out to them. Today, we just interviewed a celebrity producer, and a publicist found us. So we have people reaching out and just going ahead and booking, and it's really tremendous. So the word is getting out. If you'd like to be on any of our shows, please go over to our website, usaglobaltv.com, book your session. Now, you'll see for some of the shows that it says by invitation only, and I am inviting you. But some of the shows, the co-hosts actually manage to schedule themselves. So if you see that by invitation only, that is not a show to book. Please book one of the other ones. That'd be terrific. And I have a couple of other announcements. I'll be very quick. Let's see. We have our reunion show coming up. We have, I think, 4 slots open. I'm actually closing this out as of next week. If you're interested in promoting something, we'll be live streaming for 6 hours, and you have 15 minutes to promote whatever it is that you want: a book, your charity, an event, your poem, your screenplay, your business. Please go over to our website, again, usaglobaltv.com, and book your session. And finally, last 2 announcements. We have 2 new shows coming up that are panel shows. What does that mean? Instead of it being an interview or a presentation like Talking Heads, we actually have a panel of people who will have a discussion with each other about whatever the topic is. So our first panel is called A Woman's Prerogative. And we have 5 women from different parts of the world that a big part of who they are is about empowering women. So we'll be talking about women's issues and how we can promote women and empower each other across the world. That starts May the 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. On May the 4th, also, we have a show for men, a show about men, by men, for men. And that's being led by our team member, Roland Friedel, who is our co-host for the Mallorca Connection. He's also a talking head. And he has left the island of Mallorca, and he is traveling in his RV across Europe for the next year. So he's put together a group of men. And I believe the name of the title, this show is Bonfire Chats, Wild at Heart. Real, authentic, and just a conversation between men so they can open up and talk about their emotions and what goes on with them in life. So both of those are May the 4th. You can check our schedule over on our website, usaglobaltv.com. All right. I wish you all a beautiful, wonderful weekend, whatever religion you are or you're not. Please find some time to just celebrate yourself and be grateful for the things that you do have, because we all have things to be thankful for. I'm so thankful for each of you, for your support and your loyalty. I'm very thankful for our teams, and just thank you to my family and to everyone who's made this possible, to my mentors, my coaches. I really do appreciate you all. All right, we'll see you on Monday. Take care. Bye.